Go harder than you did last year. Whatever you thought you did, it wasn't enough. And enjoy it even more.
Believe that.
Go harder and find a way to enjoy it. That's when you mastered the game.
Alfonso, this shit wavy. Alfonso, this shit wavy. Alfonso, this shit wavy.
means. This is for the black and blue that I bleed. This is for the chance to bring home that ring. But everybody gonna doubt this. So far there ain't been another way around it. We bring heat to the game each week. They just say we ain't got what it takes. We ain't bout it. Well, y'all can just keep saying that we ain't gonna make it. But at the end of the day, this will be the Panthers nation. You know, this ain't a game to us major players at every angle that you can think of. That's why you hate us. Get out the way of greatness. You can look at our faces and see the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to create this. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but you can save it. Cause even on the darkest of days, you know we're always gonna find a way to tell them what we gonna do. We gotta
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 11 recap of Carolina Panthers training camp. I am Corey, the host of the Keep Pounding podcast. Welcome on in. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group page. Keep Pounding in all caps for in-game post polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, as well as scheduling for the channel and the Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League. We got 3 spots left, ladies and gentlemen. 3 spots left. And only a day to get those in. Are we claiming them, ladies and gentlemen? Or are we settling at 10 teams this year? What are we doing? If you're not familiar with the fantasy football league that we have set up, it is a 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex spot, which includes wide receiver, running back, tight end for that flex spot. It could be any of those 3 positions. You can get a kicker and a full defensive unit, as well as 3 bench spots, 3 to 4 bench spots. I don't remember exactly how many there were. I think it was 3 to 4. But 3 spots left, ladies and gentlemen. Get them while you can. Less than 12 hours left to claim a spot. Otherwise, we're closing it off at 10 teams. I was opening it up to 12, but, we've only had 1 person jump in there. So far, we still got 3 spots. Who wants to claim it? Who wants it? Let's see. All right, let's jump into the content today. Row, row, row. The Keep Pounding Panther podcast. Let's get this rolling. Now, for day 11, first day of joint practices with the Jets. And there was a lot going on today. So I want to start with the quarterbacks. I think that's the obvious place to start here. Because there's still a lot more to talk about beyond the quarterbacks. First off, Bryce Young looked great. He looked great. Shout out to the real Sunchild. How you doing? He says, let's go! With the Keep Pounding drum. That's what I like to see right there. Yeah. That's the energy we wanted here, man. That positive energy right now. This team is oozing with it after today's practice. Absolutely oozing with it. So, Aaron Rodgers gives Bryce Young praise. And I want to say much love to Aaron Rodgers for that praise right there. Thank you so much, for showing Bryce that love and respect that he is due. that definitely improved your stature with me, respect wise. I think a lot of people would be surprised to know that Aaron Rodgers is not a complete prick. You know, everybody thinks that he is, and he's got a heart, man. He does have a heart, and he proved it today. So shout out to Aaron Rodgers for that right there. Much love. Also, um, it was so packed with people today that I literally had to park down the street. You know, and the energy levels were through the roof. You could feel them from the parking lots down the street of how excited people were, for this. I was talking to one of the attendants down there, and they said that the attendance was, what, 5,000, 10,000, something like that. The hill was completely covered with people, and that's a rarity. I've never seen that. To be honest with you, I've never seen that happen. To where it was jam-packed. You couldn't even find a spot. And if you're 30 minutes late because of trying to find a parking spot, you're extra screwed. Which I was this morning. So, so that being said, I missed the red zone drills, and I was told that Andy Dalton completed 4 out of 6 of those. One of them to a tight end. Great job, Andy. Let's get into Andy real quick, man. Andy finally, and I say with Dwayne Johnson intro with the WWE, finally, Andy Dalton has returned to the training camp and gotten out of his comfort zone. Can you smell what Andy is cooking? Let's go, baby. So, let's get into Andy real quick. So, the long drills down the field. This was a wild set of drills for Andy. The first set I saw, when they finally started moving them down the field, towards the other side, was a little bit of deep throwing. He was inaccurate, yes, but he took chances. He took risks. He threw it. And yeah, it was a little sloppy to start, but I told him, if you've got the guts to throw it downfield, do it. Even if it's incomplete. It's practice. Show some spine. And he did. Finally. I was like, where is this Andy been? All training camp. Where is this Andy been? He's been MIA. Did the aliens abduct that version of Andy Dalton and just say, nah, we're going to give him back at the last 2 days of training camp? Bro. I love Andy, though, man. He's a great guy, though. Regardless, whether he's producing on the field or not. He's a great person. And, the second set of drills, that's where he started opening the door, man. He started hitting some of these deep passes. TMJ got involved. Shi Smith got involved. I mean, the whole circus got involved. On the second and third set of drills down the field. I was just like, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Finally, the Andy is back. The Andy Dalton that we all know and love is back. I was like, it is about time. Now we're going to start making some noise. I'm not even worried about Andy now. If I see one more day of him doing that, I'm not worried about him for this preseason game. Not even a little bit. I don't recall this much anticipation even with Cam. Yeah, true, man. True, even when we had Cam, that was never a sellout crowd. And it's just wild to me, you know, that finally we're actually getting that much attention and that much that energy coming into camp. And you had, I would say maybe a fourth of the crowd was probably Jets fans. Is that fair to say? From the Twitter picture that they took before I got in there. That was just about 10-15 minutes before I got in there. So, I mean, that should give you an idea. And I don't know who took the picture, so let me see if I could find it on Twitter real quick for you guys. Because I haven't even actually seen this picture, so I'm looking forward to looking at this as well. It was nuts, dude. I've never seen a crowd this big. Never. So let's see who had it. Who had that picture? Who actually had it? Was it Adam Scheffler? I'm gonna try Adam. But oh my goodness, man, that. Nah, it wasn't it. Okay, so it was one of the local reporters that was there. Later on, I'll tell you. So you had DJ Chark versus Sauce Gardner. You had the wide receivers versus the DBs. You had Brian Burns versus the Jets O-line. You had Icky versus Lawson and Williams. You had Bryce Young versus the Jets defense. And I mean, it was fun. It was absolutely fun. I didn't see much of Aaron Rodgers versus the Panthers defense because it was on the other side, the other field. But I saw what I wanted to see this morning, which was the Panthers offense versus the Jets defense. That's what I was really hoping to look at. And I got my wish because the main people I wanted to look at was Andy Dalton, of course, the wide receivers, and our O-lines. How are they matching up? How is Deontay Brown doing? We'll talk about Deontay Brown in a minute. But thus far, I loved what I saw from Bryce Young. He was quick. He was decision-making. He was smart. Yeah, the D-line forced a couple of throwaways, as you would expect, in the first series. Not a problem. He's a rookie. You should expect that. Okay. But at what point do you stop applying the rookie tag to Bryce Young? Because this man was audibling today. He was audibling. I don't think people noticed that. I don't know if people were paying attention to that today. But yes, this man was audibling. So, that's something that you don't expect a rookie quarterback to do. The only quarterback I've ever seen really do that was Peyton Manning when he first came into the league, because he had a certain way of doing things, and that was just who he was, and how he wanted to set up his offense. But most of these quarterbacks, even Tom Brady, had to learn on the fly, what to do. And you rarely ever saw audibles, in training camp during the first year, if you're a Patriots fan, right? So, that being said, there's maybe 2 or 3 quarterbacks I can name that have ever done that, out of the most recent quarterbacks, that have hit the league in the past 20 to 30 years. But, yeah, Peyton Manning was definitely one. I would argue maybe Russell Wilson might have done that too, because I saw him audibling a little bit during that first year with Seattle. So, and it's just impressive that he's got those year 2 and year 3 skills, in his first year, in his tool belt. And I'm just really impressed by Bryce and his knowledge. And his release time, of course, again, I match up with Matt Ryan. And that's saying something. Fastest quick draw release time in the NFL. Regardless of what you think of Matt Ryan, quickest in the league with accuracy. Bar none. 2.5 seconds. Bryce clocks in at 2.6, 2.7. He looked real solid pushing that ball down the field. First drive that I saw, didn't quite get there, but he did attempt a end zone shot. So, credit to him. It looked good. Then, that's when the magic started happening. And I'll tell you this with complete certainty. Everything you heard about Deontay Brown today is correct. This man was giving Andy Dalton a clean pocket to work with. He had a great day today. I was very pleased. He gave Matt Corral a clean pocket as well. And, I mean, they were more concerned with his discipline. That's what I was looking for. I wanted to scout him heavily today, and I got my wish. And I got everything I wanted out of that right there. I'm very pleased. So, on the defensive side of the ball, we'll talk about the defensive side in a minute. Let's talk about these wide receivers real quick. Mingo is finally getting on people's radars. TMJ finally getting involved. Tight ends finally getting involved. You saw Steven Sullivan. Ian Thomas getting involved today, which he's been involved several camp days. So, you can't really say, oh, well, he's been on the roster but not really given reps. Nah, he's been out there. He's been more so run blocking than pass catching, but he's been out there though. They've touched the ball his direction. That being said, I'm very pleasantly surprised by these tight ends today. 2 of them got a touchdown. They look good. And the running backs look ready. No question about it, the running backs look ready. They were plowing through that Jets defensive line. No doubt. Loved it. There was a little bit of pressure from excuse me. there was a little bit of pressure from the Jets D-line today on that O-line, on the ones, and you had to be a little concerned when Cade Mays got downgraded with McCall. You had to be a little concerned. Because here's Cade Mays that you're thinking, okay, Cade Mays is the